What is going on, guys? Stas here. Welcome back to another video. So we had a pretty rocky day yet again for the stock market, where we had the S&P 500 close down 0.2%. We had the Russell down 0.4% as the Nasdaq pretty much broke even, and we had the Dow Jones up 0.2%. And I don't know how this happened, but the VIX actually went down over 4% on the day, and we actually had the metals down as well. We had oil, I think it was up a little bit. It was a crazy day, guys, all across the board. And of course, earnings season is upon us, so we had a couple companies like Bank of America, United Health Group, Johnson & Johnson. So yeah, we have a lot to cover in this video, guys. Charts, earnings, numbers. So hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, and you might as well get your 7 fractional shares of the Mag 7 stocks from Moomoo. All of those are linked down below, guys, or you can check out the QR code right here or go to stassurfest.com/Moomoo, get your stocks. And with that being said, cheers. Let's dive right into the video. So like I said, guys, another rocky day for the stock market today. Even though the VIX went down 4%, which again, that's interesting. Well, I guess it makes sense considering yesterday it was up a bunch, and I think a couple of days ago at one point it was up 20% on the day. Do you guys remember that? But yeah, either way, we saw selling across the board today, and we had Powell speak a couple of hours ago, and essentially he seemed a bit more hawkish than usual, but he's kind of been hawkish, right? We're not really seeing all those rate cuts on the horizon anymore. He's saying that inflation's stickier than expected. It's staying higher, higher for expected. We might be at this, or we might need to keep rates where they're at longer than expected, right? And the market's kind of digesting this. And, we're not down that much from the all-time highs. We hit 503 this morning, actually 502 earlier in the day, and the all-time highs almost 526 on the S&P. I mean, guys, we're not even down 5%. We're not even halfway to correction territory on SPY. And Triple Q, I think, is down, the same, roughly the same, ballpark from 449. Now it's at 431. We're down about 4%, a decent amount, roughly the same ballpark there. And this just hit a fresh low on the 20-day chart. And overall, again, the uptrend is still holding. Obviously, we're still above the lows from a couple of months ago, but, we are trading at multi-week lows across these indexes for the most part. And you guys probably know that already at this point. So with that being said, let me actually break down some of these companies that reported earnings today. We'll take a look at these numbers and see how the charts are looking right now. So Bank of America, ticker symbol BAC, they reported this morning, and oh boy, did their stock sell off. It went down 3.5% on the day, and now we're pretty much free falling on this 4-hour chart under the moving averages, and now we're down about $4 from the recent highs, or about 9.5 to 10%. So this is pretty much right on the cusp of correction territory. So Bank of America, they ended up reporting, let me see here, guys, adjusted EPS of 83 cents, which beat the 77 cents expected, and they also beat on sales, 25.81 billion versus 25.46 billion expected. So double beat there for Bank of America. And you might be asking yourself, why is the stock selling off? Well, the reality is, guys, like I mentioned actually before they reported earnings, a lot of these bank stocks, they're near, maybe not so much all-time highs. Not all the bank stocks are at all-time highs, but guys, they've ran up a ton over the past couple of months. And if a stock is priced to perfection, in other words, and we go into earnings, maybe the earnings aren't as great as expected, we might be getting a bit of a sell-off, or we could see a sell-off. And in the grand scheme of things, guys, we're still clearly in an uptrend on Bank of America stock. You guys can see that here if I get the channel tool out, clearly still in an uptrend. So yeah, BAC looks good, even though, again, we're selling off here after earnings. So keep your eyes on it. UNH is another one that reported this morning, and their stock shot up over 5% on the day. So it looks like UNH reported, let me see here, guys, adjusted EPS of $6.91, which beat the $6.62 expected, and they also beat on sales, $99.79 billion. Holy smokes, $100 billion almost. It's almost there versus the $99.29 billion expected. So think about that, man. UNH is a massive company, almost $100 billion in revenue, and they double beat there. And it looks like they're continuing to make significant progress in restoring affected change healthcare services, yada, yada, yada. They backed their 2024 view of adjusted EPS of $27.50 to $28. That's good. And yeah, looks like the stock was pretty beaten down and earnings were better than expected, and we're getting this type of recovery, which is good. This is actually the opposite of Bank of America, right? It was overbought heading into earnings, then it sold off. UNH was oversold heading into earnings. They were better than expected. Boom. We're starting to see the rebound now, and now we're actually testing this trend line, which is a very big spot for the stock, right around, let's see, 485, right, 490. We got to watch that point on UNH. So the next one here, guys, is J&J. Have you guys heard of Johnson & Johnson, right? J&J, they reported earnings, and their stock went down over 2% on the day on adjusted EPS of $2.71, which beat the $2.64 expected, and sales missed $21.383 billion versus $21.398 billion. So they barely missed, guys, but I guess they did miss nonetheless, and they expect 2024 adjusted EPS of $10.57 to $10.72 versus the consensus of $10.66 and prior guidance of $10.55 to $10.75. So that's pretty much right in line there. Sales guidance pretty much right in line as well. So guys, this stock is very beaten down, and the the descending triangle that we outlined a couple of videos ago, well, that's starting to play out here on the 4-hour chart. You guys can see now we're actually at a fresh low on the 4-hour chart here on Johnson & Johnson. Went down over 2% on the day. This could be slipping even further, heading into the future here, in my opinion. And the thing is, guys, get this. Now we're at a 3-year low on Johnson & Johnson, and on the max chart, we're actually starting to slip down towards that 180 moving average, which is actually towards 115 to 120 bucks per share. So keep your eyes on J&J. We also had Morgan Stanley MS report earnings today, and their stock went up 2.5% on the day. And it looks like we got, let's see here, guys, GAAP EPS of $2.02, which beat the $1.68 expected, and sales also beat, there we go, guys, $15.13 billion versus $14.33 billion expected. So double beat there for Morgan Stanley. And it says here, guys, let's see, anything on guidance? Guidance, not really seeing anything there, but it does seem like Argus Research raised their price target to $105 from $98. I'm sure that assisted in their 2.5% green day today. On top of that, of course, the pretty good numbers, right? So what do you guys think about Morgan Stanley? I'm not loving the chart. I guess we could, I guess we do have a cup and handle in the making. You guys probably see that right here, but I'm not loving that completely quite yet. We'll see if we do start pushing over 90 bucks again. Let me set my alert at 90. And I just realized I haven't set any alerts on the other stocks for this video, but it is what it is. I'll go back on them later on. But yeah, Morgan Stanley, 90 buck alert there. We also had UAL report, I think just now, right after the bell, and their stock is up. Look at that. We closed at $41. We went up 1% on the day, and now after the bell, we're up another 6%. We have UAL. Let's see, guys, completely exploding after earnings came out. Adjusted EPS of negative 15 cents, which crushed the negative 57 cents expected, and revenue beat as well, $12.53 billion versus $12.45 billion expected. So beat EPS, beat revenue, and let me see here, guys. United Continental Q1 loss of $124 million. Yeah, I mean, I would say the stock's running a lot because they lost way less money, than expected on an adjusted basis, guys. So we're getting a nice pop after the bell here, and on the 4-hour chart, we're looking pretty good, man. We have this channel, it's holding. The bulls are holding tight here at the bottom. Let's see if we can start breaking back towards the mid-high 40s. That would be ideal overall for the bulls. And last but not least, we have Interactive Brokers. IBKR is the ticker. And this company just reported earnings. Their stock went down 1.6% on the day. And after the bell, we're pretty flat, actually a little bit in the red. Let me see what they reported, guys. Adjusted EPS of $1.64 versus $1.63, so that beat, and sales beat as well, $1.22 billion versus $1.20 billion expected. So it looks like here Interactive Brokers profit rises as interest rates provide boost. Okay, they actually more than doubled their dividend. Holy smokes. Looks like the chairman said, I get the feeling the market is somewhat exhausted. He said that, so we'll see if that, how that plays out. Do we get a 5% sell-off, 10% correction? I don't know, but IBKR chairman, he's saying that, so we'll see how that plays out. And by the way, shameless plug, you can actually check out IBKR Interactive Brokers. They're a great trading brokerage, guys, by using that link down below or by going to stocksurfast.com/interactive brokers. Make sure to open up an account, try it out. You might as well do that. And yeah, at this point, guys, this stock is looking quite interesting because look, we're pretty oversold. Now we're down a good $10 from the recent highs, almost in correction territory. And guess what? The uptrend is still holding. You heard that right. This could end up being a nice dip on IBKR, and we could be rebounding off this moving average for all we know, guys. So I'm watching this very closely. IBKR, and again, check out the link down below. Make an account with them. They're great for trading. So yeah, that's kind of a breakdown here on a couple of companies that reported earnings, a breakdown on the charts, kind of the indexes. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe here on YouTube as well. And if you actually want some free stocks, hey, you might as well check out that Moomoo link down below. You get 7 fractional shares of the Mag 7 stocks, and you might as well do that. The clock's ticking by using that link down below, checking out the QR code right here, or by going to stocksurfast.com/Moomoo. Once you guys open up your account and fund it with at least $100, you get those stocks just like that. And of course, that is an affiliate link. It helps out the channel. I appreciate you guys as always. And with that being said, cheers. I'll see you later.